I'd like to, we'll open it up to other crime topics in 1 minute, but I'm going to start today, and I have Chief Mike Kemper here from Brooklyn North Detectives, who oversees literally all the detectives in Brooklyn North, including gang, narcotics, individual squads, homicides, etc. squads, to talk about a particular case. And I think it is worth talking about for a number of reasons. We're going to play a video, and I'm going to turn it over to Mike to narrate in a second. But what you are about to see, let me be frank, is graphic. I saw this week. This is about a murder that took place in Brooklyn last week. And you are literally going to see a 21-year-old male fighting for his life, running on the streets of Brooklyn, being chased by a group of at least 10 thugs. It's tough to watch. Mike is going to walk you through and make a plea for the public's help here to make sure that anyone responsible for any role in this attack is brought to justice. Mike?
Good afternoon. I don't know if the video is going to play now, but what you're watching right now is a video of an incident that took place last Tuesday, March 19th, in the confines of the 75th Precinct on New Lots Avenue. This incident occurs about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, where we have a 21-year-old male who's walking down New Lots Avenue by himself when he hits the intersection of Cleveland Street, and he engages a group of 10 individuals, 10 males standing on a corner. Totally unprovoked, our victim, the 21-year-old, is punched in his face. Subsequent to being punched, he runs, and the group chases him. And he's literally running from the group, trying to escape further assault. Part of the group is chasing him on foot, and part of the group is chasing him in a car. The victim is literally running up and down blocks, trying to escape these individuals. At one point, one of the individuals in the group takes a firearm out and points it at close range to our victim. We don't believe any shots were fired at that time, but the victim now is literally running for his life. The victim finds a parked car on the side of a house on Cleveland Street, and he hides behind that parked car. And he's literally hiding in fear for his life as the group is now searching for him. Literally, we have video surveillance of this group looking in alleyways, walking up and down the street, hunting, searching for this 21-year-old kid. Ultimately, one individual or two individuals spot our victim hiding behind a car, and they start chasing him again. The victim now runs to the rear of a private residence, and with the group chasing him. He sees a approximately 6-foot PVC fence. Our victim tries jumping over it. And unbeknownst to our victim, on the other side of that PVC fence is a chain fence with barbed wire on top. The victim gets stuck in the barbed wire. This group approaches the fence. One individual throws a rock at him, and another individual shoots our victim 5 times, causing his death. The group then runs out of the backyard and flees. Like the chief said, no less than 10 individuals were active participants in this brutal, brutal murder. And again, this video is very, very hard to watch. And I've been doing this a long time. Out of the 10 individuals, we've had success in identifying 4. Of the 4 individuals we identified the shooter, who is wanted, who is not in custody, and we identified the individual that threw the boulder at our victim. He has been identified. He is presently in custody, and he is being charged with murder. I'm pleading to the community. I'm pleading to anyone. If anyone has any information in relation to this case, this incident, please call 1-800-577-TIPS. That's whether you have information to what led up to this incident or the individuals involved. We're still looking to identify, and we will not rest until we identify the 6 individuals that were part of this group that are unidentified. Thank you.
Take questions on this particular incident to start.
Where is he is the victim on the video room?
The victim is, can you put that in a loop again? And I understand it's tough to see, and it's been narrated down. Probably doesn't do it justice if you have to sit and watch. Again, members of Brooklyn North Homicide under Mike's leadership have done a tremendous job in this case thus far, going out and recovering and literally tracking blocks. This whole incident takes place over a number of blocks, Rocco, where you'll see the individual running and hiding, attempting to hide for his life. At several points in this, that's him hiding behind the car there. That's the victim. This is the group chasing him down the block. He's able to double back and run back this way where he runs a few more blocks. He tries to get into cabs on the street, literally anything to get away. Ultimately, he's cornered like an animal in the back of a private residence where he's shot multiple times. So again, 1-800, I think New York City knows the drill, what to do. This is eerily similar to last June in the 48th precinct in the Bronx when Lissandro Guzman was the victim of a mob chasing him through the streets of the Bronx. Overtones that are similar. This is a gun, not a machete or a knife, but you have gang involvement and literally hoodlums with no fear of the law, organized, driving around in cars looking for this individual and chasing him down and killing him. So again, 1-800-577-TIPS. Whether we have the individual in custody, here's 6 that we look to identify on my left. Whether it's these 6 or the ones that we already know of, anyone that knows anything about that incident, please, no detail is too small, call Crime Stoppers. Yes, sir. No. We have, as you see it, you'll see an individual picks up a boulder, literally, that is about this big, and throws it over the fence at the individual, while a second individual, I'll slow it down and narrate it, goes up to the white fence, kind of hangs over the fence and shoots over the fence and kills the victim. We will give through DCPI. The victim's name was released last week because it took place last Tuesday, is my belief on the date. And in terms of the overall motive, we have clear gang affiliation with the group of 10. It's still early in the investigation. That's to be determined. You know, I'm torn right now. I don't want to give any notoriety to this group. I won't say what I'd like to see happen to this group. This was difficult to watch for a lot of different reasons, and you find yourself hoping, and you know what the outcome is going to be, but as the investigation unfolds and we're looking back, knowing that the person was shot multiple times and succumbed to his injuries, you're watching this video and hoping that he gets away. And unfortunately, we know that wasn't the case. Tom.
As far as their association, that's something we're looking into right now. Here's what we do know. We know our victim was walking down the street, and we know this because we have this captured on video. There was no prior altercation, at least imminently at that time. He was walking down a block, he passes this group, and as he passes this group, he's immediately assaulted. He's punched in the face. Yeah, people jumping out of the car, they surround him, and like we described, he is literally running for his life. You watch the video, again, it's hard to watch. You're literally rooting for him, and you're hoping that the group gives up. They were searching for him as he was hiding behind that car for a couple of minutes, to be quite frank. And they kept searching. The group split up. They were looking up and down a block for him, and like we mentioned, unfortunately, he was discovered, and he was chased, and he was murdered. Again, that's part of the investigation. The investigation's going very quick, and again, that's why we urge anyone in the community that has any information in relation to what transpired here or the identities of anyone involved, We urge you to please call the Crime Stoppers hotline. Simply put, acts like this cannot and should not occur in New York City in 2019.
Let me elaborate on that a second. And you know, Mike's had a long day and probably a long couple of weeks. He was here at Comstat this morning, where we had Brooklyn North in as a borough, and Brooklyn is bucking the trend in New York City. Brooklyn as a borough was up in shootings last year. I think we've reported that before, starting really the second half of the last year. And they're driving the increase in shooting violence in New York City this year. And what's behind the shooting violence? You ask, what's behind this? You know, gang violence in Brooklyn is something that we've talked about many times. I'll get back. Yep. One has been charged already. We believe we know the identity of a number of the others, and there is approximately 6 that we're looking for help identifying at this point in time. I would like to see them all charged. That will be on us, working together with our partners in the Brooklyn DA's office to build a prosecutable case. But clearly, when you look at that video as one sole piece of the evidence, we have a lot of work to do. But you see a group working together, trying to hunt down, eventually hunting them down and killing them in a backyard. I won't go into specifics. Mike could go into it, but he probably won't give it to you either. Extensive criminal histories on the group that we're looking at. Certainly prior incidents of either gun possession, guns being at the scene of shots being fired, shootings. It's the recipe that we keep talking about. What you see on the video is an individual, our victim, walking down the street. You see a car pull up. You see 3 people jump out of a car. It appears that the driver at that point in time does not, so that would be at least 4 in that particular car. And they begin, after striking the victim, they begin chasing him, and the chase is on. At that point, at this point in time, that's the beginning. Whether there was something prior to that is under investigation. But from that point, we have been able to, through video, through extensive tracking down of video, follow this individual literally for blocks as he continues to try to hide from this group. They catch up to him at points in time where he's able to break free. You see them coordinating, talking, one speaking on the phone. Eventually, he tries to hide in the rear of a private residence and is successful as they're searching both sides of the block, looking under cars. Eventually, unfortunately, they see him and they catch up to him as he tries to jump over a fence.
Yeah. Where is? If they get the video, what screen you want to put it on? Okay. You want me to do it? You want me to?
It's all you.
Yeah. Good. Like the chief mentioned before, this is the group that are part of the group.
That group got out of a vehicle.
All right, what you're going to see right now is you're going to see the group.
That's him hiding,
That's
the victim.
right there. And you're going to see him run a little, turn around, and come back. As he comes back, watch closely. He's got a gun pointed at him.
On the sidewalk. That's right there.
Stop right now. Boom. That's our shooter. You see the gun pointed at him over here?
That is not where the
Our victim is
eventual
to the right.
shooting takes place, though.
This is during the chase. This is even before he hides behind the car. The gun is pointed at him. We don't believe any shot is fired at this time. You're going to see the victim run. Almost, the shooter is a little confused, you're going to see. And then you're going to see the victim hiding.
About a block and a half approximately after this is the location where you eventually hear. Go ahead.
All right, what you see is the victim now. He's got a little distance between the group, and this is a private residence, and he's literally looking for cover. He's looking for a place to hide. He finds right behind that car. But what the video doesn't capture, we had to edit it for you. He is hiding behind that car for quite some time, minutes, and we have so many sources of video that as he's hiding, the group is captured on video, literally searching for him, and he's hiding behind a car. What you see right now is once they see him, he realizes, and now the chase is on again.
But he's cornered.
Yeah, and he runs it. You see, they chase him into the yard. Our victim is going to run to the fence. You're going to see the PVC fence. All right, stop right. See that guy? All right, the guy with the blue and red? He was the rock thrower. All right, so there's our
Victim
trying to hop the fence. Again, on the opposite side of that fence is barbed wire, maybe a few inches down. Now, you see the boulder? And then the shooter.
Shooter is hanging on the fence right now.
And you see he's shooting straight down.
And that's a private backyard?
That's correct.
How come they have
I'm sorry?
how come they have ball?
Well, it was the yard behind them. As far as why they have barbed wire, I can't answer that. I can tell you this, behind that PVC fence is a chain link fence, lower, maybe a foot lower, approximately, and topped on that chain link fence is barbed wire.
Chief, this will be released in this video?
Yes.
Was that a private residence that the person had some familiarity with because of before?
Yeah, so it is a private residence. As far as his familiarity, we don't think, we just think it was a safe place for him at the time, but certainly as this case moves forward, we're going to see if there is any sort of connection between the victim, perhaps, and the house. As of right now, we don't believe so.
Just as this is going on, from this point to eventually where it ends, he is trying anything to get away. He's trying to get into cars, into cabs, and unfortunately doesn't succeed.